Well, good morning people, and welcome back to the channel and the man cave, of course. It's not such a good morning this morning, but yesterday was a really nice day. I went across Smalley Cross. I've not been across for a couple of months now, because they're always very helpful, always very supportive of me, and I took out the bike that's I've been curious about since it came out, and that's a shotgun. The 650 shotgun. I know there's the shotgun, there's the Super Meteor, there's the classic 650, but of those three, the one that appeals to me or that interests me the most really is the shotgun, and I was pleasantly surprised. But this is just a video about my ride on the Well, good afternoon everybody, and you join me on my final approach to Smalley Cross. The guys here at Smalley Cross are going to let me take out their Royal Enfield shotgun for a little test ride. It's a bike I've admired. It's probably the choice of the three more laid-back models that I would go for. But I've not ridden one yet, so I'm going to put that right, and let's see what it's like. So bear with me, and yeah, we'll give it a go. So here we are, Smalley Cross. It's a while since we've been. Well, I was here in the camper van last week in actual fact, but we'll not go into that. It's a bit embarrassing, but never mind. So yeah, here we are, Smalley Cross. Again, the good lads. The good lads here. So we'll just have a quick look at the shotgun. It's the blue one. These are the three models that haven't got the same frame as the Interceptor. I mean, even the Bear is a little bit different to the Interceptor frame, but it's basically the same geometry, whereas these, they got the more classic frame. And of the three, I think the shotgun would be the one that I would go for if I was in the market for this style of bike. But we'll see. We'll go and say hello, and see how it goes. So here we are, the Royal Enfield 650 shotgun. Different bike to me, totally alien to me really, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, I do like this rotary starter button, starter switch I should say, kill switch. Really is a nice touch, that is. But I'm not sure about this footrest position, I'm really not. But it's snicked into gear nicely. Now, which way shall we go? I think we'll take my usual route to begin with, over to Horsley, and we'll have a little leg stretch, if you like, on the A38. Gearbox is nice and slick as usual, and well, I do like the bar end mirrors. I've got very little experience of bar end mirrors, but quite like them. I've been thinking about borrowing mirrors for Daisy, the sidecar outfit, and yeah, I think they do me. It's the usual 650 engine that's used in so many models these days. 47 brake horsepower, so there's plenty there. Yeah, there's plenty there. Obviously there's no screen, so there's nothing to keep the wind off my chest, but the upside of that is there's no turbulence around my helmet, around my head, so hopefully the sound should be okay. 6-speed box again, which is normal on this this engine platform. So this is the engine that's used in the Interceptor, the GT, the Super Meteor, the 650 Classic, the Bear, and of course the Shotgun, which we're on now. And from what I can gather, it's the basis, it's the engine that's going to be the basis for the 750 Himalayan, or Himalayan, whichever way you want to look at it. I am looking forward to seeing that come into the shop, because I will have to have a test ride on that. This is Horsley. Always come through Horsley on these test rides. It's a nice village. Has a nice feel to it. Certainly handles nicely. But then you would expect it really from a bike that's been developed at the Research and Development Centre at Hinckley by roads blocked. Never mind. So we're in top gear, we're in 6th gear, and down to just below 40 for the limit, and it's smooth as silk in top gear at 40. Now as far as 30 is concerned, well, it's not snatching, so it'll trickle through a 30 limits quite easily. Certainly doesn't feel like I'm abusing it. So up onto the 38, just to see how it feels at motorway speeds. Straight up into 6th gear, short shifting into 6th. Joining the, well, I nearly said the motorway, joining the dual carriageway at 65. It's not too bad. So we're sitting at an indicated 70 now, and the pressure on my chest is really okay. It's certainly not out of the way. This is really quite comfortable. I'm sure on a long distance on the motorway that the wind pressure might make itself felt, but at the moment it's fine. And there's certainly as much power there as I need, but then I'm just an old fart these days. A bit of an overtake. certainly enough power here for the speed to creep up a little higher than was intended, shall we say. Here we are, this is our junction. And off onto the 610 to take us down towards Ambergate. Ooh, that's nice. An old split screen. Anyway, so yes, we're on the A610 now, and this is, as I've said in previous little test rides, this road it's a bit trafficy, so I'll not bother giving this road a lot of attention. It'll just take us down to the A6 down at Ambergate and onto more interesting roads. So I'll see you when we get to the A6. So that's it, we're down at Ambergate on the A6 again. But this time, instead of turning right for Cromford and Matlock, we're going to turn left very briefly and take some slightly different roads. When we were out with I was out with the Himalayan group last week. Yeah, I was out with the Himalayan group last week, and the ringleader, if you like, Mick, because it was really wet and horrible, he said, I'll take you over some nice lanes to begin with. Stay on the tarmac. I said, do, wouldn't we? Just crossing. And it really is nice up here. Some nice little windy country lanes. I just hope I can remember all the turnings, because there are one or two, and it brings us out eventually at Worksworth. That's the plan anyway. But it does take us up to a really nice viewpoint and car park up at Allport, so I can pull on and we can do a little walk round. I have to be honest, I am finding this bike very, very enjoyable. It's not my style of bike, but don't know about the bars. As I mentioned, I have a little bit of a back problem, and I do like my bars to be a bit higher. At the moment, these don't feel too bad. Maybe it's because they swept back a little bit because of the style of bike. But gearboxes, but then I was going to say the gearbox is nice and slick, but all the modern Royal Enfield gearboxes are absolutely beautifully smooth. And these lanes, one of the reasons I've come around these lanes is because they're not the smoothest lanes in the world. But again, the suspension, it's a twin shock rear end, so it's never going to have the same movement as the Himalayan, whichever. But it's compliant. The suspension is definitely compliant, and it's not an uncomfortable ride. Now I hope I've got it right. I can see where we're aiming for. That's kind of him. Yes, I think we're right. Beautiful gearbox. I know I keep repeating myself, but it really, really is. a marvellous view from up here. Marvellous view. Over towards Brassington. See the wind turbines across there that that nice Mr. Trump doesn't like his windmills as he described them. Never mind. Here we go. Must keep my head down under the barrier. I know the masts don't make it look too inviting, but the view from the car park is really quite nice. Shouldn't have any mobile phone reception problems here anyway, I wouldn't think. So there we are. It's a massive view from up here. So we're looking out towards, got to be looking out towards Leicestershire. Over there in front of us, and the flatter parts of Derbyshire, and effectively looking towards Brassington and Worksworth. Worksworth is in the valley just in the mid distance. You probably see the houses of Worksworth, like I say, in the middle distance over there. But we're up here to look at this bike, the 650 shotgun. It is indeed a nice bike. I didn't know what to expect from this style of bike, to be honest, from this platform, this frame platform. It's certainly more comfortable. The only criticism I had of my Interceptor was that the standard seat was somewhat like sitting on an ironing board. But this sculpted frame with a sculpted seat, it is a lot more comfortable. So what we got 18-inch front end, (17-inch) rear, 150 rear. That's a good width of tyre. 2-inch exhausts. Single disc. That's all that's needed. Really is all that's needed on this. Looks like an LED headlight. All in all, it's a good package, and I like it. I like it a lot. I'll have a look at the price when we get back, and I'll put it in the information. Right. Let's head off to Worksworth and make our way back. Yeah, single clock, which is the norm these days with Royal Enfield again. Single circular clock. Speedo, obviously. There might be a setting that gives us a rev counter, but on this style of bike, I don't think a rev counter is all that necessary. Fuel gauge. Ooh, eco. I'm not going into settings. I don't do settings. So it's just one of those things. It's, yeah, and we've got that, I'm thinking, is maybe the Tripper on the right. I ought to know, really. Good suspension. Shower. Front forks. Upside down forks as well, so yes. Twin shot rear end, upside down front forks from Shower. So it's well equipped. Well equipped. A bit bumpy down here. She come back me Himalayan. All's forgiven. Never mind. Back on tarmac. Quite happily picks its feet up when required. Oh yes. Oh yes. And the most satisfactory burble from the 2-into-2 exhausts. And down into Worksworth. Just a short distance on the main road through Worksworth, and then on the far side we'll turn off again and start making our way back to Smalley Cross. A little bit loose in places, but a bit bumpy in places as well. In fact, the road's closed, so we'll go back, we'll cut Worksworth out, and we'll get back onto my favourite road. Favourite road for these road tests anyway. The best laid plans of mice and men and all that. There's always an alternative. Here we are, the malt shovel. So we're back en route. And this a little bit, this does have to be one of my favourite stretches of road down here. Lovely sets of corners, nice and rural. Not too much traffic. Chance to play with the gearbox a bit. A nice view across the valley. The tower up in front of us, that's the Cryche Tramway Museum. Right in front of us on the skyline now. Certainly a nice bike in the country lanes. Obviously not a bike you go off-road on, but for everything else, nice bike to ride. And back down to the A6, but again not too far on it. Right, try and find a different way back to Smalley Cross now, without using the A38. A little bit more scenic in so many ways. Over the railway line. That's the main line that goes down to, well, not the main line as such, but it goes down to Derby from Matlock. I feel I could ride this all day. The sculpted seat is, it makes all the difference compared to my old Interceptor seat. Now, if I remember rightly, this gives us a view of Huge Windmill. Always on the far side of the valley. I'll just pull over here. If you can make it out on the screen, I don't know whether you can, whether the camera will show it up. Just over the far side, the houses, on the far side, top of the field, over directly in front of where I'm looking now, is Huge Windmill. It's a windmill that still grinds grain and produces flour, and they sell the flour at the gift shop, and it's open most weekends as Huge Windmill, and it's nice to visit. They have various different themed weekends, themed days, like classic bikes, classic cars, American cars, all sorts of stuff across there. So yes, Huge Windmill, H-E-A-G-E Windmill. Ah, that's a better view of the windmill now. Up in front of us on the skyline. Huge Windmill. That's as close to the A38 as I want to get. Crossing over it like that. Would I use this for something like my upcoming Norway trip? No, I don't think so. It will carry luggage, I'm sure, but I think fitting pannier rails and stuff like that to a bike of this style will spoil the lines, to be honest. So no, it's not really the ideal touring bike. You can tour on it, obviously, you can tour on anything, we know that, but wouldn't be my choice of touring bike. Although it is indeed a very nice bike to ride. A very nice bike to ride. Right, we're going very close to Smalley Cross at the end now, so I don't consider myself, I've said before, I don't consider myself to be a particularly good road tester. I don't believe I'm perceptive enough, to be honest, but I do know when a bike is nice to ride. And this one is nice to ride. There's no doubt about it. There's no traffic about, so let's give it a quick brake check. Yes. Emergency stops are not a problem. And it looks like it's got a nice sunny ride home on Blizzard this afternoon. As far as the bars are concerned and the footrests, I can feel an engine there, which is what you want really, but there's no undue vibration. Nothing that's going to cause any problems anyway. And here we are. Bring it back to join the lineup, and there's Blizzard waiting patiently. Put it in its parking place and take the keys back. Let's take the keys back in, and I'll see you back on the road. Well, that's us on the way home from Smalley Cross. Thanks to the guys again. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. I certainly enjoyed riding it and making the video. So if you can give us a thumbs up, and all the rest of it, you know. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, it doesn't cost anything. And drop me a comment if you like, let me know what you thought of the bike. And apart from that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, cheers.